Views. Anytime you're under 50%, it's painful.
Going on Rotten Tomatoes and just seeing all the reviews, you know, that was kind of like just a double nut kick.
You stand there? Why are you freaking out?
I can't stand him. There's no fucking... This is like a fucking swimming pool, not a fucking jacuzzi.
Oh, it's fine.
What are you up to?
Doing nothing, dude.
Doing nothing?
I don't know, dude. It's 2 o'clock in the afternoon. I'm sitting here with you drinking a 40.
What was the last movie you did? Son of the Shit?
Yeah, what about it?
What was it? The reviews? They were great reviews? What was the reviews? 4%? 4%? 4?
Yeah.
Charlie and the Chocolate Factory. 86%. Big Fish. 83%. Don't be such a bitch. You know, I mean, so what? You got bad reviews? Hey, it's a good time. You're sitting in a jacuzzi. Let's call some girls. Let's call some girls. Let's call some girls.
Do I like the internet? Yeah, I mean, the possibilities are endless. I mean, it's an extraordinary phenomenon. Do I hang out in chat rooms? Because most of the time it reduces people to, you know, fuck you motherfucker, fuck me, hey, why don't you look at my dick?
Bloggers who are hecklers essentially are people who want some kind of notoriety. And the more outrageous my writings, perhaps the more notoriety I'll get as a result of that.
I have a problem with that guy Perez Hilton, that blogger. I just think he's mean for the sake of being mean.
Don't ever try to undermine my credibility or say that I'm not a good reporter, because I am. And
I've made the choice to basically stop Googling myself.
Every so often, in just a fit of like either boredom or self-loathing, I'll go onto like the IMDb or like, you know, you Google yourself. It's always a big mistake.
AmIannoying.com is a website where visitors can come on and go and rate celebrities based on how annoying or how not annoying they are. Celebrities will have a rating between 0 and 100%. The more famous you are, the more annoying people are going to find you to be. When Abraham Lincoln was depressed, I'm sure somebody said to him, "You're annoying." We also had a pick for Martin Luther King. He fought for a cause that only involved his own race. So anything that's self-interest should be categorized as an annoying trait. If you're a vegetarian, we decided that you're considered annoying because now you have special eating habits. Jesus would be considered annoying mainly because of how a lot of his followers will come out and represent him. Right now, the least annoying person on the website is the skeleton of an ancient 3-year-old. One of the best ways to actually drop your annoying rating is to die.
Hassan at the Mass.
I have a CD at home.
You have a DVD of it?
Yeah.
Did I look cute?
No, the baby look cute.
Not you, the baby look cute.
I was at a restaurant, and one guy's like, you're here in Prague again. I said, yeah. And he goes, making Hostel 2. And I said, yeah. And he goes, first one wasn't so scary. It was more bloody than scary. And I was like, yeah, everyone's a fucking critic.
I had this fan who was like, said, I am your biggest fan. And then I met her. She was like super kind of mean to me the whole time. Was like, a nice sweater. Saw your internet show, stupid. Yeah, that's funny. And she had said she was my biggest fan. I was like, oh, wow. You know, totally different way of expressing love.
The criticism started approximately when I was about 11 years old, and it has not stopped since. She asked me when I was like 15 if I wanted my breasts enhanced. And I looked at her, I was like, Mom, you're crazy, you know, I'm a teenager. Big breasts are sexy in Hollywood, and I guess I'm considered not sexy.
Really, I've had enough. People can keep their opinions to themselves. They look at me, stare at me, and sometimes I feel like I want to look right back at them, and I have. And I say, listen, it was nothing but a little bit of a nip tuck, and it's gone. Try not to put me in a box. I mean, I don't fit in a box. Of course, some parts of me are in jars.
No chest pain?
No.
And what exercise are you doing to maintain that?
I haven't been. I gotta exercise. I haven't exercised about 5 months. I just got...
Why?
Because my movie came out and it bombed, so I got depressed.
Oh.
Did you see it?
Was that the one about Malibu? Or?
Son of the Mask.
Son of the Mask. No, I didn't.
You didn't see it?
No. But the Mask was pretty good, no?
Yeah, that was the first one.
Well, yeah, it's hard to follow. Carrie was in the Mask, wasn't it?
Nobody ever cares what the critic thinks while they're making the movie. You know, they don't invite them over to like, hey, check it out now. But what they do is like, if a movie's like, it's pretty much finished, they'll do a thing called a focus group.
Focus groups are the fucking death of cinema. It is a fucking nightmare. They show the movie and then there's this fucking focus group. And suddenly, fucking fat girl from Cleveland who's in the front row going, you know, I think we do some nips and tucks right here. It wasn't very scary. And then they go, well, people think it wasn't scary. I'm like, no, this one girl thought it wasn't scary.
There's no difference between focus groups and television executives and movie executives giving notes on movies and telling you about TV, telling you about how comedy works, because they've watched television. If it were myself and I watch every Laker basketball game for 20 years, it does not mean I am now qualified to coach the team at all.
The following are actual focus group comments from the chump change test screening that we did in New York City. Weird and annoying to anyone with a brain. Weird and annoying are both spelled wrong. It moved too quickly. I didn't know when to laugh. At least with sitcoms, they let you know when to laugh. I like the stuff with the crotch. Flamboyant gay men will not like this movie. Neither will Native American Indians. I may have walked out had I not stayed. I like the positive references to Iceland. Way too many jokes. Too much humor. Too slow. Too fast. Too funny. Too much. Too many words in the dialogue. Too many words in the dialogue.
Fucking Jamie Kennedy experiment, dude. Get with it, dog. That shit sucks.
Now, do you feel that you need to be honest? Why do you feel you need to be honest?
To make you better.
A million ills are supposed to be dismissed just because somebody's being honest. That is total bullshit. The reality is you can be honest, but you can deliver the information in an empathic way. I mean, it's fine to be honest, but to assume that that dismisses anything about what it is you're telling that person is ridiculous. I'm just being honest. I don't like you. Just being honest. Please, come on. That's nonsense.
97% of the people I've told that I was working with Jamie Kennedy, 97% of them, 95% didn't know who he was. 2% of them asked me how good of a comic is she.
If you look at a ceiling and there are 1,000 tiles beautifully laid out, but only one is missing, you will focus your attention on the missing tile.
People used to be excited by not just celebrities, but by truly talented people. They would get excited by watching someone like a Gale Sayers run or a Marlon Brando act, because they would go, wow, I can't do that. I could never do that. And now it just makes people angry.
You know, people will be very vicious to people in the spotlight. When you're actually at the top, you're a target. You're a target for criticism. You're a target for, you know, just mean responses.
I mean, I had a thing on fucking CNN a while ago. This fucking little asshole of a human being thought he was going to get me on CNN. Like, didn't he know it's a live show?
You were a headline guy.
I'm still a headline guy. You know what I mean?
For a while you popped out. Now you're coming back. For a while you were actually you were running a gym. Tell us about that.
Running a gym?
Weren't you running a gym at some point?
You're supposed to be a news guy. Where you getting your fucking
That's our
information?
research. You weren't.
This is ridiculous. I come on CNN and the guy don't even know what he's talking about. Go ahead.
You at no point were you running a gym?
No, running a gym. What,
No,
you
you
need a
didn't take a
workout or
timeout?
something? Jesus fucking Christ, with these guys. I come on the news for 2 seconds, and you want to say, every
All
time
right.
I do an interview, a guy wants to open his fucking mouth. Can't
All right,
even
Andrew,
do a little
thank you
fucking
very much.
routine
We
here.
thought that you
know
could
what?
hold
Go
back.
fuck yourself. You know what?
All right.
Fuck the whole fucking network.
We'll go back to talking about Art Carney.
The prological literature, we see humans gathering together, elevating somebody to very high levels of esteem, making a monarch, and then just knocking him down. We scapegoat him. And oftentimes throughout history, they killed him.
We like it when people are below us. We like it so much that we build them up. The only problem is we create this monster. Now they're above us, so let's cut them back down, because we don't want anyone that used to be below us to be too much taller than us. You know,
We worship people on the way up. Then we kind of bask in it, but then it's only about 15 minutes until how can we trash them?
This is what's on our website, and I'm just wondering how you react. Paris is just an oversized human condom. Paris is like a fart in a mitten. You know it's there, you can't stand it, but you can't get rid of it.
You know, I'd been doing my show for about 7 years in Canada before we were on MTV, and it was always the underdog show, this crazy little show that was on cable and nobody had heard of it. The only reason anyone would ever even bother to write about my show for 7 years was because they were a fan of it and they wanted to tell the world about this little show. As soon as we were on MTV and all of a sudden, you know, David Letterman has me on and The Tonight Show and Rolling Stone magazine and all these cool things that happened, you know, then essentially people start sharpening their knives at that point.
This is probably the worst review I've ever gotten. Okay. And it says, it starts with Jamie Kennedy needs to be stopped. Kennedy has somehow mutated into an actual star. Perhaps a reference to the creation of this hideous man-beast. Now, one of Kennedy's characters from JKX, that's the pseudo-cool abbreviation for the show, has spawned its own movie and is not contained quickly. The monster may reach Pauly Shore circa 1993-like proportions. Okay, that's just the first paragraph. There's 5 paragraphs. And I just gotta tell you, bro, I've read your blogs, I've read your reviews, and I want to know why it is that you are going out of your way, fucking not only shit on me, but rip my fucking chest open and fucking pour poison on me.
I have nothing against you as a person. I don't know you.
You didn't say Jamie Kennedy's film needs to be stopped. You say Jamie Kennedy needs to be stopped. How can that not be anything but personal?
It's referring to your career.
Do you think that I shouldn't have a career?
It's hard to say.
I am talented.
Well, that's your opinion.
Are you into Star Trek?
I do like Star Trek. Yeah. Live long and prosper, that's great.
Do you go to Comic-Con?
I've been to Comic-Con a couple times.
You fucking live at Comic-Con.
No.
You go there a lot.
Well, it only occurs once a year, so you can't really go more often than that.
Criticism, coupled with your own personal failing self-image, it is brutal, it is deadly.
Ollie G takes control.
He's spinning Jamie Kennedy like a top.
That was a hell of a shot, Johnny. It may have caused a Kennedy compound fracture.
And Jamie Kennedy takes it on the chin.
The risk of being overwhelmed by criticism, among other things, is to fall into a depression. That people, let's just say it becomes so stressful that your brain can't handle it, it shatters your regulatory capacity, you become depleted from chemicals, you start thinking you're worthless, you fall into depression and maybe even want to hurt yourself.
Has a critic ever affected me in a negative way? If being curled up in the fetal position, naked, in my room, lying in a puddle of my own feces and urine for a week and a half can be considered an effect, then yes.
The person that is driven to be a celebrity, by definition, is thin-skinned. So when somebody sort of pulls that cover and reminds you, hey, you're not so wonderful after all, they feel that very deeply.
Thick skin, I'm not a fucking dinosaur, you know what I mean? Like, you'd have to be like amazing to not let that affect you. But like, you know, you get over it. I mean, it's like you grow and you realize that Appleton, Wisconsin doesn't mean dick.
I don't think any performer of any kind has a thick skin. I don't think you can do any good work if you do. You have to be sensitive to be good. And if you're sensitive, you're going to also sometimes suffer because of that.
Thoughtful, critical piece, even if it slams me, I'll accord that much more respect than I will just the general, like, man, this fucking sucks. This guy's so dumb, douchebag, and that's it. But, you know, enough of them pile up to have some effect on your psyche, and it made me go, oh, this isn't worth it. Fuck this. I'd rather I'll do something else. This is ultimately not worth it, you know.
What happened to our little film? I remember I saw a screening.
Yeah.